Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 20th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, looks like we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Yeah. All right, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Yeah. Yeah. Going down to the 8-hour time frame. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. Going down to the 2-hour time frame. Going down to the 1-hour time frame. Going down to the 30-minute time frame. Down to the 15-minute. Down to the 10-minute. And looks like we're done. So back to the 1 minute over here. Looking at liquidity, the closest level of liquidity below is going to be at 39,465. And the closest level above is going to be at 39,529. So those are the two levels of liquidity closest to current price. This lower level might get hit pre-market, but I mean, we'll see what happens when we get closer to that. So let's see. Looks like about half you guys are here so far. So let's see. Over here to our main chart, or not main chart, our clean chart. Markup 6:30, markup 8 o'clock. Let me go up to the 4-hour, identify some structure here. So we have structure up here. We have structure down here. We have structure way down here. Over to the 1-hour time frame. Structure right here where price is currently at as well. Going back down to the 1 minute. All right, so looking at current price right now, we currently have 1-hour resistance level. Or sorry, this is the 4-hour. So this is the 4-hour resistance level. And this is the 1 hour support. It's good. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 20th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open up shortly. And market liquidity over here already. Closest level below is going to be at 39,465. And the closest level above is going to be at 39,529. So those are two levels to look out for price to push over to. Over here on our clean chart, we currently have price bouncing off the 1 hour support level. It's currently in the middle between the 1 hour support and 4 hour resistance. We'll come back when market opens to see if price comes back and retest any of these areas. Other than that, there is, let's see. So there's a double body here, but we currently have, there's a double wick and a double body, but we already have a sell signal here. So there's not going to be any double body or double wick in our favor. Other than that, we currently don't have a double body, double wick on the bottom. So for the breakout V3, that's not going to be ready just yet. I'll zoom out a little bit so we have some space here. Looking over here on the PRB chart, the trend is currently bearish. This can shift at any moment, though. We have 3 minutes to market open. So if you are looking for the PRB, it'll probably maybe be a sell, but we can't say for sure because price can easily shift back up from now until then. Here is our main chart. Looking at our main chart over here, I'm going to go ahead and check the calendar. So for today, we had news earlier. So we had news at 4 o'clock. Then we have news at 7:30, and that's pretty much it. It's just gas and oil stock change that happens every Wednesday at 7:30. So we had news at 4 and then news at 7:30. There's not too much going on during the market, but after our live session, the interest rates are going to be released, I believe, at 11 o'clock. Yeah, Fed interest rate decision at 11 o'clock. So, I mean, we might get a slow market today. We might get a rangy market. So that's expected. But as we get closer and closer to the Fed decision for the interest rate this year, or not this year, this month, I mean, we'll see how price moves from there. But for the most part, there's not really much going on during the actual live session. So, all right, other than that, good morning, everybody. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Delicia. Morning, Angela. Morning, Funny. Morning, Sadie. Morning, Nick. Morning, Maria. Morning, Shannon. Morning, Jeff. Morning, William. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Albert. Morning, James. Morning, everybody. Who else is here? Morning, Froylan. And Nick's here. Another day, another BB3. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here when the market opens. The volatility is actually really low right now. It's currently at 5 ATR, so it's not it's not really moving too much, which is expected. You know, we're expecting, well, everybody's kind of expecting market to be kind of slow right now because there's no news. So there's no catalyst really pushing price around for today until 11 o'clock, which is the the Fed interest rate decision. So the PRB here still could possibly be a sell. Market is about to open in about 50 seconds. The breakout V3, there's no double body, double wicks here. So we'll come back and take a look at that in a few. But other than that, price is just going sideways here. We're probably going to see a lot of sideways movement for this entire session, which is expected because if you guys remember from Monday was a ranging market. Yesterday was a ranging market. Today, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a ranging market. We already know what's happening from the earlier half of this week. So no surprise if it does end up ranging after it has some increased volatility here on open. So liquidity here just got hit pre-market. Market is about to open in about 20 seconds. We'll see price actually blast right through it, or if it ends up swinging right back up. But there goes the first level of liquidity right there getting tapped. It's always tricky to take liquidity pre-market because there's not really much direction yet, right? You're kind of waiting for price to actually push through like you just did right here, and market is now open. So the first level of liquidity here just got blasted through. Right there, price can easily push through to the next level as well, but it hasn't gotten to that point yet. It's just the first level right here that I marked up, which was 39,465. Price is now bouncing back and forth, which is perfectly fine. This is the opening candle, like I said earlier, and we will see where this ends up going from here. So got this marked up right there. I'll go over here real quick. There's no double body, double wick yet. The PRB looks like it may be setting up over here, guys. Just marking up opening price. So opening price is actually on the London high. It's literally on the London high. Kind of tricky. All right, so the PRB setting up right here, guys. We have the rejection. You're now looking for some space consolidation. If we get the space consolidation on this next candle, then the next following candle could be the possible entry for the break. Sorry, not breakout either, for the PRB. For anybody who's looking to take it. Again, I'm not taking the PRB, so if you guys want to take it at your own risk, but I will mark it up for you guys because I know some of you guys still do take this entry here. No setup yet. You're still in the second step. You're looking for space. Space is not confirmed. There's liquidity. Looks like liquidity got blasted again on the next level down below. So 2 levels of liquidity right there, back to back. Again, I'm not in any positions right now. I'm just waiting. There goes liquidity, full TP. So if you guys took any of the levels of liquidity right there that I marked up, full TP on both. We also have another level below again, right here. That could be getting triggered as well. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. Looks like it just got triggered, but it's very overextended at this point. All right, so here is our clean chart. Once the low has been established, I will update the levels here. Price just broke through the 1 hour support. There's no double body, double wicks anywhere, so there's no breakout V3s coming up anytime soon. The PRB here still hasn't set up yet. Main chart over here. There's nothing really far below. Yeah, there's nothing here yet. So let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 81% short. I actually prefer price to dump down a little further so that we can catch this ride back up. Yeah, so this is kind of what I see happening. We've seen this happen on Monday, Tuesday, and then again today. We have a big push of volatility here on open. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to actually dump a little further. I want price to keep dumping further and further and further, and then I want it to ride back to opening price. And then I want to take my trade in between this area right here, right? Ideally, that's what I'm looking for. I mean, it's probably not going to happen because it's never that smooth, but ideally, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. I would prefer to follow it. Albert's asking, are you keeping track of the stats on the PRB? Unfortunately not, Albert, I'm not. I'm just doing it meanwhile until people stop asking for it, and I'm probably not even going to look at the PRB anymore. So I'm not taking any more stats on the PRB. I'm just sticking with the BB3 because I'm sticking to like 1 strategy a day. I think holding 2 strategies a day was okay for a while, but then it just didn't really make sense because a lot of days would be break even. So I'm not taking any stats on it, but the videos are available on YouTube. So if you ever want to take your own stats, you can just review any of the live sessions and just fast forward to the PRB and you can take your own stats if you wanted to. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not taking stats on it anymore because it's not one that I personally plan on using moving forward. I just plan on, making tweaks to the BB3 and going from there. Because I think the BB3, it covers a lot of basically the confluences that I personally like to look at. I like looking for reversals, momentum, and continuation. So it just fits perfect with what I'm looking for. Not to say that the PRB isn't a good strategy. It's just, I feel like the PRB is very subjective. So it's a lot harder for others to identify it properly. So this is the PRB right here. It's actually now running, guys. It's in drawdown right now currently. This is the PRB entry. So we had a rejection right here at 630. We had space down here. Price came back and retested the area right here. And then now it's pushing up. Personally, I probably wouldn't want to take the sell here because the obvious reasons that we discussed earlier. The retail sentiment is super high. So I personally would like to take buys here, but I'm not going to sway away from it. So like if we do get a sell position for the BB3, I'm still going to take it. But personally, I'd probably want to take a buy. But obviously, I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm still going to take it if it comes up. So the PRB is currently running. There's no BB3 here yet. there's not really much of anything here yet. Price is kind of just going back and forth. The ATR is super low right now, surprisingly, for market open. ATR is currently 13 right now. Typically it's at least 15, closer to 20, but the ATR is super low. It seems like a lot of people are sitting out of the market for now, up until the interest rates are released later at 11 o'clock. So again, we are just waiting for the BV3 to come up. If the volatility starts to die down even more, then that's pretty normal. It's exactly what happened yesterday. And it looks like the range is now becoming established. So we currently have a low right here, as you guys can see. The range is starting to get established just like it did yesterday and the day before that. This is the 1 minute support level. We just need to establish that high. Once the high has been established, then we'll see the range of where price is bouncing from. But it's the same thing that happened yesterday. If you guys remember, price pretty much ranged pretty much half the day, like the entire session, then we got the entry closer to the end. So it looks like it's gonna be the same situation today. No biggie. I mean, same thing, same, right? Not really much of a big difference here. The PRV is still running, not in it, but it is still running. So I'm basically looking for a higher high here to get established. A higher high is not getting established until price pushes past this higher high right here. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lower high. But as I mentioned, it is establishing zones here. So what might happen here is a fake out. So price might push up a little bit, fake out, come back in, right? Just like what happened yesterday. Or, I mean, price may push up higher, establish a new high, and then come back down, which is kind of what's happening here. It's doing exactly what I was looking for. So this lower high right here, I was anticipating to be a higher high, but it hasn't passed this higher high yet. So we'll see. And there's also liquidity above as well. It's a pretty far push up. I don't know if it'll push that far. Maybe it will, but I mean, who knows? So we will continue to follow here. It looks like the PRV did not work out. It's stop loss. Unfortunately, PRV didn't work. I'm not in that position, so obviously it's not counting towards the results. I'm only taking the BV3 here. Again, the ATR is still very low. It's currently at 13. Hasn't really picked up yet. We'll see if this here establishes a new higher high, and it just did. So it did exactly what I just said earlier, guys. I said if price pushes past this level, it's going to establish a higher high. When you guys see a higher high, this is something to look at, because whenever you see a higher high, this starts to set up for a ceiling. So as this gets established, this will probably be the ceiling, and then this will be the range. So this whole area between this, from this higher high to this lower low, is probably going to be the range right here. This is where price is going to be bouncing back and forth from. But you got to wait for this higher high to be established. So it'll keep pushing up higher and higher until it's done pushing and it loses its strength, and then it comes right back down, possibly back to open, right? So it looks like there may be a double body rejection right here. If this candle closes red, that'll be a double body right here. This could be setting up for the breakout B3. So we might be able to catch this on its way back down. But again, there's no rush. There's no forcing anything here. We're just waiting, really just waiting for some sort of setup to really prepare ourselves for the entry. So again, right here, just waiting. We got 20 seconds left on this candle. We got a lot of time. 6:39 right now. The range still has not been established yet. So once that higher high gets established, I'll mark up a 1 minute resistance level, and then we can use that as a as a guideline for the range. But yeah, there's no entry here. You guys can see the trend is starting to shift a little bit. Going back to, let's see. Yeah, so retail sentiment is still high. It's 80% short. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently negative 43. They're pretty much bearish and neutral. Looking over here at CNBC, they reported, it says S&P 500 trades flat as Fed rate decision looms. This is exactly what I said earlier. Market's probably going to be sideways for the entire session up until closer to the Fed rate decision, which is at 11 o'clock. So we might just get a sideways movement from now until then. I mean, price might climb, but regardless of the fact, price is still sideways. Okay, so there's no higher high yet that's been established. It's still pushing up higher. So price might push up to the sessions up here. I mean, target price point, if it does push up higher, will be the sessions up there. Then when price pushes that high, we might see either, so price will push up and then we'll see either a rejection off this and back down. We might see a break above it, fake out, or you might just see a continuation higher, right? So price continues to push up higher. The next level for target would be the next levels up here. So, I mean, there's a lot that can happen here. So first scenario, push up, rejection, come back down, right? Next scenario, price push up, fake out, come back down. Third scenario, price break above, retest, continuation to the next level. So there's a lot that can happen here. That's why you don't really want that many opportunities. You kind of want one or two, right? You want to have one that you're really confident about, maybe two that you're okay about, and then you just wait for the confirmation. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take here as price continues to climb up. Again, we're focusing on this higher high right here, because once we get that higher high with a double body, double wick, then that'll probably be established as a ceiling, and price will probably come back down from there. So again, just got to follow it. I mean, price might push up, get a double body, double wick around this area, and then come back down. Who knows? A lot can happen from now until then. It's only 6:42. We're like 12 minutes into the market. It feels like we've been in for like 30 minutes already, but it's only been like 12 minutes. The volatility is still very low. It's having a consistent climb, but it's not very fast. So, or it's not fast enough from what we're used to. It's more of a snail crawl. Yeah, each candle here is like 10 points, 15 points, 13 points. They're super small. It looks like the price is moving, but really it isn't. It's just magnified right now. Okay, so we might get a double body right here. Again, like I mentioned earlier, guys, the double body is fine when it's off a higher high or a lower low, because this could be establishing the top, right? So we got the bottom down here, we got the top up here. And we'll see, we still have 35 seconds left on this candle. It's a lot of time. Not really too much to look at. Let's see. Randy sent a link here. Let's see. Randy sent. Oh, that's the same I already had open right here, Randy. Yeah, so we looked at that earlier. I just said that the market was flat, so there wasn't anything for us to really pull from it, because they didn't say it was bullish or bearish. It just said it was flat. So that's why the market's kind of just still lingering. It's just going in the direction that it was already going. Okay, so price is pushing up higher. The higher high here still has not been established, as I said earlier. Price will probably push up and reject off the sessions up here. So we're probably going to wait for a catalyst. We need a catalyst in the market, right? For us to get that catalyst, I need CNBC to report something. I need CNBC to say, okay, price is pushing up. Then once they push up, we'll look for price to come down. If they say price is coming down, then we'll look for price to come down slightly and then push right back up, right? We want to do the opposite of everybody. If CNBC is buying, we're selling. If the retail sentiment is selling, we're buying. It's kind of just how the game works, right? A lot of people don't realize that, but that's perfectly fine, right? Let people continue to follow like sheep. We're going to do the opposite. So again, we're just waiting. 6:44. We got a lot of time here. We got an hour left, a little over an hour. So we got the higher high right there. There's no double body, double wick from the top end. Looks like price will probably keep pushing up higher. Like I said, the target price point right now for where price is currently at is the purple line right here, which is the Asia low. So we'll see what happens here. Price fakes out, bounces off it, or if it ends up, climbing up higher. It doesn't really matter to us because we're not predicting what's going to happen next, right? We're not in any positions here. So you don't really care about what's going to happen. Like you're going to wait for the market to react to certain price points, but you're not thinking, okay, I want price to keep pushing up or I want price to keep pushing down. Because it doesn't really matter, right? There's no entry for you there. And that's kind of what trips people out a lot, right? If you're thinking too much about entering a position when there's no setup there, that's where you start to FOMO and you start to revenge trade and overtrade and stuff like that. So you just got to keep in mind, guys, you just got to stick to the game plan. You know, my game plan is a breakout V3. So until I see a double body or double wick on either end, then it's pretty much irrelevant to me, right? I don't really care what's going on. Like for this right here, I don't care if price pushes up, if it fakes out, if it climbs up higher. It's irrelevant to me because there's no double body, double wick. Once I see a double body, double wick, then I'll start looking for confluences, right? Like right now, if price gets a sell signal and it comes back down further and I get a double body down here and then there's a pending buy. So for example, right here, if we get a sell signal right here, which is pending, if we get that, then I'll have my double body rejection right here. And then from there, I'm like, okay, now I'll pay attention to what's happening, right? Then in this situation, I'm like, okay, I actually want price to break above and continue climbing. That's when I start looking because you don't want to be too like tangled in the market when there's nothing for you to work with there. Like for example, right here, even if we get a double body, which we do have a double body right here, it's irrelevant to me because we have a buy signal right here, right? We're not going to get a buy entry here. So it doesn't really mean anything to me right now. But we do have a double body, so I'll mark that up right there. And we'll just continue to watch this as price continues to move along. Yeah, exactly. James said directional, agnostic. That's what I like about this. Yeah, no, 100%. You know, I'm never one-sided with the market. Like I know a lot of people, they're always one-sided about a market or they're one-sided about a strategy and they only like follow one thing and they only look at one thing. But I look at everything. So I feel like everything kind of ties in with each other. And it's beneficial, you know, it's beneficial to have opposing views and understanding, you know, okay, this can happen or this can happen. Because the thing with trading is anything can happen. There's no one way to trade. Yeah, I mean, we'll continue watching here, but we do have the double body rejection right here. And it's kind of hard to tell because this was like a doji candle, and I personally don't like doji candles like that. But nonetheless, it is still a double body rejection, which again is relevant right now because we don't have a buy signal that's pending. The next signal that comes up needs to be a sell signal. So not a big deal, but yeah, if this higher high gets established, I will mark this up as the new high, and then we'll identify this as the range. But it looks like it just got blasted through, so there's probably a new high there. Yeah, a new higher high. So we'll take a look at it, you know, when time comes. But right now, we're just going to wait. Price again right here is rejecting off the sessions. So if you get a double body rejection right there and price comes back down, you might be looking for a sell. We'll identify this as a reversal. Not there yet. Price is still pushing up. There's a new higher high. Let's keep watching it. Okay, so we have a double body that's starting to set up right here. If this candle closes red, this is going to be a double body. It's going to be a double body rejection off the sessions, which is something that we typically look at. And you guys can see the range here now. So the range is starting to be established. The range and consolidation between this area. Right? So we got the range right here. We might get price to break below and come back down to open. Target price point. So we'll see. Breakout V3 might be for sell today. Actually not looking too bad. Yeah, exactly. Josh said it looks like it's setting up for the same range we saw on Monday and Tuesday. Exactly. 100%. It looks like a mirror image, right? But this is why I tell you guys on Monday. Monday's a good feeler day because you can see what happens and you're like, okay, I can expect this to happen Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And it's never, and it won't be a surprise to you because you've already seen it play through. Yeah, exactly, Josh. Starting to make sense, right, guys? A lot of you guys like didn't really understand that. But it seems like it's starting to make sense to a lot of you guys, which is great. You should have you should have a full understanding, like full round understanding of like how the markets play out because the market moves in weeks, it moves in seasons, things change by the seasons. Like right now we're in March, the volatility is pretty decent. Once you get closer to June, closer to summer, the market's gonna slow down a little bit. All right, so price is rejecting off both ends now. Okay, so I'll do this now. I'll go to our clean chart. I'm gonna go and mark this up as the 1 minute resistance level. Not really too much to work with here. Price is just going to bounce between these two areas. Like I said earlier, this is the consolidation range. It's just going to keep bouncing through here. So what you want to look for here and what you want to be careful for are the traps. So if you guys remember from yesterday, there was traps on both ends, right? Price will fake out to the bottom. Price will tend to come up down a little bit, come back up, come up a little bit, come back down, go sideways, fake out, until eventually it'll break out. So this is actually very similar to yesterday's market. So if you guys remember, we had like double bodies on both ends for like 4 different times. It just kept coming up double body, double body, double body, double body until price finally charged up and it blasted out and we took our buy. So no surprise here. It's pretty much exactly what happened yesterday. So you could expect to probably wait for the next 20 minutes or so for something to actually happen. Yeah, exactly. Nick said extremely similar. Yeah, it's literally the same thing that happened yesterday. So this is why it's key that you guys attend these mentoring sessions or these live sessions every single day, because it's like a storyline. Like on Monday, I'll set the story. I'll tell you guys, okay, this is probably what to expect for the rest of the week. And then Tuesday is going to be a confirmation. And then Wednesday, just the same thing. It's just rinse and repeat of the same cycle over and over and over again. So like for some weeks, you're going to get this where price is just going sideways all week. And then for some weeks, you're going to get this where price is just climbing all day, right? Climbing all day, or you're going to get some weeks where price is just dropping all day. So it's always important that you guys stay in tune with the market. Like whenever I hear somebody say that they take a break from trading, I'm like, how do you take a break from trading? Like you take a break from trading and then all the information is gone. It's you're fine tuning every day. You're making small adjustments to adapt with the market because the market's changing almost every day. Probably not every day, but like every week. Every week, the market's in a different cycle, and you have to be active in the market. Like when I see people who like will trade for a couple of days, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm just not going to trade the rest of the week," and they come back the next week and they're completely lost. I'm like, obviously you're lost because you don't know what happened last week. Like last week was a trending week, so obviously this week's going to be a sideways week, right? So if you guys remember last week was very bullish, right? We took a lot of trades and price just kept climbing last week. So this week, market kind of slowed down a little bit. Now it's going sideways. So you just got to keep in mind. And if you guys ever miss a session, always feel free to review the sessions to get up to date. So it's okay to miss sessions, but just make sure that you review the live sessions to remember, okay, this is what happened the day before, so that the next day is not confusing to you. All right, we have a pending sell signal here. We still have the double body rejection right here, so there's still opportunity for entry here if the sell does come up for the breakout V3. But like I said earlier, the market's probably gonna keep bouncing back and forth between the sessions, or not the sessions, the zones here. But if the sell does come up, obviously I'm going to take it. I'm not hiding from any of these positions. I'm not skipping anything, so we'll see what happens here. So we have a pending sell signal here. It looks like it's about to close, and it just closed right there. All right, or actually it didn't. And this is why I'm glad that we wait for the confirmation, because it'll close like that, and then it'll just disappear at the last second as soon as the candle closes. Yeah, it's like, yeah, just the psych master over here. This guy knows when the psychs happen. It's like sell signal psych, buy signal psych. So just be patient, guys. This is why I wait for the confirmation, because if, anybody could have entered the trade there super quickly and then they would have been screwed because the signal never actually came up. So just gotta sit tight, guys. Sit tight and wait. The entry will come up eventually. I'm not really expecting it to, though. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we get a sell signal here and then it just swings right back up. Because this here is a range consolidation. It's pretty obvious where price is at. What I'm looking for here is okay, so we do have the sell signal here. If this next candle here closes red, this is going to be the entry for the breakout V3. But you got to wait for the candle to close, guys. There's 50 seconds left on this candle. It's a lot of time for price to easily swing right back up at the last second. All right. So kind of have it prepared over here. But again, like I said, gotta wait for the candle to actually close. We got 27 seconds, a lot of time, guys. Don't get sticky fingers just yet. And there we go, as price pushes up, just like we thought. So we got 15 seconds left here. It just faked out below. It's not looking like it's gonna come back down. Yep, no entry there. So let me take this off. And there goes the first fake out for today. Don't be a sucker. A lot of people get suckered into these positions when they see price, and I see this from a lot of beginners. They see the range setup right here, and what do they have? They have a pending order just waiting here. That's so dumb. I hate when people pull. I mean, it is what it is. People do that, but people don't wait for the candle to close, and they have a pending order there. They get into the position, and then the price spikes right back up and stops them out, right? You've seen that before. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done that before. You guys just have a pending order just waiting right there, chilling. Your stop loss is right there, super close. And you try to do something like this, right? And then you just get psyched out. It comes down, psych, stop loss. So, all right, there's nothing there right now at the moment. There's no double body, double wick. So again, we're just gonna be waiting for another setup here. I'll leave this up for now. And then, actually, I'll just take it off. We already know there's a range right here. Price is consolidating right here between this area. I don't want to leave up a zone there if it's not a double body or double wick. I'm only marking it up if it's a double body or double wick. All right, so what I'll do here is I will mark up this on the clean chart so that you guys can see the range. But realistically, there's not really much here to work with. This thing's getting pushed down a little lower. So if it gets pushed down lower, then there's going to be a new lower low here. So what's happening here is the range is just getting wider. So it's just widening out a little bit further because it was like wrapped up right here, right? Now we have a new lower low, so it's just getting pushed out a little further. Same difference. It's still in a range, consolidating within this area. It's just that it's getting pushed down lower and lower, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't matter to us. Again, like I said, none of this stuff matters to us if we're looking for the breakout V3, because the main thing that matters is if you have a double body or double wick. Because once you have that, you can start looking for entry. But at this moment right now, there's just nothing for us here to take. Let's see. Nicholas is asking, was this a high-level momentum scalp? Let me check. No, it wasn't. So there's a higher high right here, but this candle already broke and closed past the pivots 1 and 2. The sell signal will have to break and close past pivots 1 and 2, but this candle right before Nicholas, this one, like literally before it, you can see how the blue line is within the body. This one already broke past it. Yeah. Yeah, it was close. I mean, it looked like it was pretty close to it, but not quite. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it looks close, like close enough, but it's once you zoom in close, like super close, you'll see that it was invalidated by the previous candle. Yeah, it's all good. It looks like it would have been a good or let's see, did it push down 10 points? Technically, it's still running. Well, I mean, it would have been if that was the case, but yeah. It's kind of good that you mentioned that because that strategy, the high-level momentum scalp, is actually really good during these types of market conditions. So if you see a buy signal, that might be too late. It'd have to be on this candle right here. Actually, no, it wouldn't count because this candle already broke past it. Yeah, that strategy, the high-level momentum scalp, is the strategy that works good during these sideways market conditions. If you guys remember, I created that strategy like I think 2 winters ago when the market was super slow, and or 2 summers ago actually. I created that strategy because we had this type of market. We were sitting in a sideways market for like I don't even know how long. We were sitting in a sideways market for like a really long time, and a lot of our strategies they were working, but they just wouldn't come up as often. So I put that together. And yeah, it works very well during the summer and during the winter months when the market's super slow. Yeah, exactly. Sadie's the FTMO killer. Yeah, no, that strategy was good. Like a lot of people pass FTMOs using that strategy and then using the smaller scalps. But right now, we're not using it as much because the volatility is generally higher. The volatility is very low right now. So when the ATR is low like this is like a good time to look for the sideways strategies or look for sideways entries. When it's below 15, that's usually the time because it's and I'm glad that I created this indicator here too because this gives you guys a heads up. So if it's ever like below 15, you could already know price is going sideways. If it's around 15, 17, you already know price is probably moving somewhat okay. And when it's above 20, that's when you know the market's super volatile. Like right now, the market's so slow. That 10 ATR, like middle of New York session, which is crazy. This should be like the fastest time right now, like the fastest market volatility. But as you guys can see, it's not. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of trading because we're not here guessing like, oh, is the market going sideways? Is it volatile? Is it slow? We already know it's slow. And when we know it's slow, we already know it's going sideways. So it's kind of like knocking, two birds with one stone. You don't have to like do so much analysis to identify, okay, what is the market doing and is the market actually moving? Because the ATR pretty much tells you that already without even having to look at the chart. All right, Daniel, we'll see you back here tomorrow. So Daniel's done for the day, wrapping it up early. I don't blame you. It's not the most volatile day anyways. So we're probably gonna be sitting on here for a while, guys. Just a heads up, it's 7 o'clock right now. We're not getting much volatility. The volatility will probably pick up around like 7:30. The market's not gonna stay flat all day. Today's not a holiday, right? Or is it? I don't know. Let me check the calendar. I don't think today is. I don't really go on Forex Factory anymore, but they typically have like the holidays marked up here. Yeah, there's no holiday. Everyone's just chilling. So everyone's kind of just waiting for the federal funds rate. That's literally what everybody's doing. They're just waiting for the interest rates to come out. Let's see, we got a little update right here. Not an update, but it says here's everything to expect from the Federal Reserve policy meeting on Wednesday. Let's go back to the chart real quick to make sure I'm not missing anything. No double bodies, we're good. Okay, so it says Fed has lots to do at this meeting this week, but ultimately may not end up doing a whole lot in terms of changing the outlook of monetary policy, which is what I expected. So as CNBC reported here, they're not really expecting much to happen. Like we're not seeing an interest rate change. They're probably just going to leave it as is, but they are going to be having a lot to talk about. So we have another double body here that's starting to set up. If this candle closes red, it's going to be a double body. This is actually a nice setup. This is one that I like because we'll have a double top here. Double top with a double body rejection. So this candle would have to close red, basically. And price is still climbing up higher, so that's fine. This higher high is going to be invalidated. However, you guys know that we're still in this range. So I have this marked up here just so that you guys can still follow along. Just look out for the fake outs. So we're still within this range, but it's just setting up for fake outs now. So don't be surprised if the price comes up a little bit, then it comes right back down super hard, back into the range. Thanks, Maria. Just saw your PDF right there for the holidays and stuff. Let's see, Maddie said if price does make its way up, it'll probably test New York sessions. But it looks like it's going to be ranging for the sessions before the interest rate gets released. Yeah, and I agree too. I'm not seeing too much here happening. No double body, double wick. It just faked out above this area right here. So I mean, there's no surprise. It's doing exactly what happened yesterday. So there's two fake outs. If you remember yesterday, there's two fake outs before the entry came. There's a fake out here, and it just pulls back into the range. Because this is where price is supposed to be in the middle. So everything that happens outside is fake out basically. Yeah, Maddie said might get fake outs all sessions, then lure sellers in, then a BB3. Then you might be able to try B. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what I'm looking for too. I'm looking for liquidity. There's no liquidity right here because price is kind of just chilling. I mean, there's liquidity above, but I mean, that's the only liquidity that's kind of left right now, right? It's kind of sitting above right there. So I mean, it's not like I'm going to take anything here, but yeah, if you're looking at price here, price might just fake out. You might even hit the 4-hour resistance and come right back down. Right? There's a lot that can happen here, but there's no double body, double wick, so there's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. Yeah, Nick said even the lure as well. If the V1 comes up before that, we may be able to ride the sell before it spikes back up. Yeah, exactly, Nick, 100%. That's why I don't care what direction price goes. I mean, I'll take it in either direction. As long as the setup comes up, that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for the setup. So I'm okay with the buy, I'm okay with the sell. It doesn't really matter to me. Looks like the trend's starting to shift to the upside. That's around 650 right here. The trend shifted to the upside. It's currently rejecting off the sessions. You can see here that price hasn't really gone anywhere. It's kind of actually just been bouncing off the sessions right here. Looks like we might get a break and retest of the sessions. Maybe a continuation back up. The ATR is super low. You guys see the ATR down here? It's at 10 ATR. It's at 7 o'clock prime time. Slowest ATR ever. It's all good. All right, we are getting a double wick rejection right here. ATR is extremely low, guys. Double wick rejection right there. We'll see if price pulls back into the range, because if that's the case and price goes back into the range, that's fine, because we can ride the sell back down and never mind take that back because this candle's still pushing up higher. But it's currently inside the 4-hour resistance level, which, I mean, technically can still come back down at any point. There's no double wick there, double body, nothing. Looks like price is making its way to liquidity. But again, we will wait. Looks like liquidity there is getting knocked out. I think the session is slightly above it, right? Yep. So now that price is pushed past the original sessions right here, the next level for it to push up higher to would be the next level of sessions up here. So looks like liquidity is getting knocked out. So the first level of liquidity right there just got knocked out. It's pushing up to the next level. Yeah, nothing there yet. All right, looks like we are getting the double body right here. So price might be pulling back into the range. We're getting a double body right here, bouncing off the 4-hour resistance level. Price might be climbing its way back into the range down here. So we get a possible sell setting up. All right, we got the double body right there. There's still 26 seconds left on this candle. It's a lot of time. There's no rush, just waiting for this here. Ten seconds left on this candle. All right, so we got the double body here. We're now looking for a sell signal. If we get a sell signal, possibility of a continuation to the downside. Otherwise, we'll see if it pushes back up even further. But looking over here at the clean chart, you can see price is currently pushing back down from the 4-hour resistance level. So keep looking. 7-11 right now. The ATR is super low. With the ATR so low, I'm not really expecting much to happen here, but we'll just keep watching. Because who knows, we might just get a random spike in price. This is why it's super important that you guys are paying attention at all times, because price can be going slow and then all of a sudden a big spike will just happen out of nowhere. No catalyst, just a big spike. Like, basically demand zone getting created by the market makers. Because a lot of the times, like, we don't have control over it, right? Like, for example, price can just come down at any moment, like right here. And there we go, the pending sell signal. Nicholas is asking, changing TP stop loss with this ATR or no? No. I mean, this is as low as we'll go. 25 is pretty low already as is. If you go 10 to 10, that's like extremely low. You can get stopped out pretty quickly if price spikes. So I don't think I'll ever really go lower than 25. 25 is like the baseline. And then from there, we can increase it if, like, the volatility picks up at some point. So I'll leave it as is. All right, so we have a pending sell signal right here. Again, you have to wait for the candle to actually close. We have 20 seconds left on this candle. I'm hoping it actually dumps down a little further, like a bigger red candle, because that'll push some strength into this direction. So we got 5 seconds left on this here. We just got to wait for it to close, but you can see it keeps disappearing. And we have the sell signal right there. Okay, perfect. So if we get a red candle right here, this is going to be the entry for the breakout V3. If not, then we just got to keep waiting. But you guys can see how big this range is. The range is kind of wide, so you can tell you're going to be holding on to this position for quite some time if you do decide to take this breakout V3, just a heads up. We got 30 seconds left on it. Again, I'm going to wait until it gets closer to the candle close. And like I said, random spikes of volatility can happen. But what I like about this here is that there's liquidity sitting down here. So it's actually going to be beneficial for us. All right, so we have this candle closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm in the position. So I'm in the position right there. I mean, it's probably going to take a while for it to move, but I am in it.
Order submitted.
And now we just wait. The ATR is super low. It's at 10, so we're probably gonna be holding on to this for a while. There's no catalyst in the market. Not really expecting much to happen from now until, a while from now, actually. There's no news. Let me refresh this. Yes, there's no news here. Next news event at 7:30. It's going to be crude oil. Crude oil stocks change and gasoline stocks change. That's pretty much it. Other than that, there's not really much else. CNBC has not reported anything. Retail sentiment is still kind of sitting at 81. Yeah, there's not really too much here. So, all right, let me just do an analysis of the chart, see if there's anything here for us to look at. There's not really too much. I mean, the biggest thing here is that price was rejecting off the 4-hour resistance level. Got a double body up there. Other than that, I'm gonna take this off right here, so just follow. Yeah, there's not really too much here to really work with. Let's go over here to our main chart. There's not much. The only thing here that price is near is the session. So that's kind of why price bounced off real quick, because it's in an area of manipulation. So this whole area here is an area of manipulation. However, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? It could be a good thing because this is an area of manipulation where price might just kind of fake out a little bit right here and then eventually come back down to open. But yeah, if price does correct back down further, the target price point is going to be opening price down here, which is a good sign for us because we want there to be like a strong target, for price to push down to. Because right here, there's nothing here. Where price is currently at right now, price can either push up and retest the higher sessions, or price can come down and retest the opening price. So there's not really too much here to work with. So, and the volatility is super low, so we're not really expecting too much to happen here. But like I said, this is just an area of manipulation. And then from this point right here, price can easily push up to the sessions, or it can push down to the opening price. The one thing here that I don't like, though, is that there is another double body here. So there is a double body right here. And this could be setting up for a breakout V3 continuation in the opposite direction. So I'm just hoping that this candle here does not close green, because if it does, it's not really going to look good with regard to confluence. So I'm just hoping it closes red. Closes red, that's fine. And it'll probably just continue ranging and consolidating within this area. So price is currently in drawdown for the breakout V3. But like I said, it's kind of just sitting right here at the 4-hour resistance level. Looks like we might get another double body right there, actually. So that's a good sign, because there'll be another double body right there. And like I said, because of the low volatility, we're going to get a lot of just back and forth movement here. Perfect. So we're just in the consolidation. There's nothing happening here. We're now in the new consolidation range. Price is coming back down, but it is in the consolidation range. Oh God, this is exactly what happened yesterday. So we're having double body. We have double body, double body, double body, and then now it's coming back down. So we have another double body right here. If we get another sell signal, so I'm hoping we get a big sell signal here, like a strong sell signal, and then another red candle. If we get that, then yeah, price is probably going to drop from this point, because we're having reversals on both ends. Reversal, reversal, reversal. Price is in consolidation. The only downside here is that price is at the sessions again. So as I mentioned before, the sessions here is an area of manipulation. Price just gets manipulated, goes back and forth, but I'm hoping we get a strong red candle here. The strong red candle is going to be game changer, because it's going to create volatility to the downside, which is what we're looking for. Jeff's asking if there's another BV3, do we enter? No. Well, I mean, if you want to, you can. You can enter whatever you want, right? Like if you want to take it, because this would be considered a continuation. So if you want to take another entry, you're more than welcome to do what you like. For me, I'm only taking the BV3. So I'm not taking any continuations, nothing on top of that. I'm just sticking to my one trade a day. Not getting greedy, just sticking to it and sticking to the game plan. But like I said, guys, again, right here, price, you can see how price has trouble getting past the sessions. This is normal. It's just kind of sitting there. And again, we're back here at the entry price point, as price has issues getting past from where it's currently at. We really just need a strong red signal. If we get a strong sell signal, then I think price will dump pretty far. We just need price to break out of this consolidation area, also break out of this area where the sessions is at. Because the sessions is really what's kind of screwing us right now. This is where the manipulation's happening and where we're getting stuck. So what I need to happen here, what I prefer to happen, is I want a big, strong red candle or a strong red signal. And then when it's down here, you'll see the continuation follow further. And our TP is like right there. So That's where we want price to push. Again, price is going sideways. This is what was expected. The ATR is still below 10 right now, so it's very, very low. And we're not really expecting much to happen here. We're just going to sit tight, wait. I'm just waiting for that big red candle. So if we get the big red signal, like a sell signal that comes up, that's going to be our saving grace. That's exactly what we're looking for. So you guys see this right here? This big red candle, we're looking for something like this. We don't care if price going sideways, but if we get that big sell signal and it follows through, it's going to push even lower. So that's what I'm looking for right there. I'm just waiting for that to happen. But because the volatility is so low, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get that anytime soon. I mean, the volatility is just too low here. It's now at 9. It's unbelievable. We're like middle of New York, we're like prime time New York session, and the volatility is at ATR is at 9, which is, I mean, to me, honestly, I think it's kind of crazy that the volatility is so low. Even for an interest rate day, I think the volatility is still extremely low, like lower than where it should be. All right. So there's not much here. I've already covered all of my bases with regard to analysis. Now we just have to watch the price action and see, if there's any other signs here. But realistically, you guys can see where the range is at. It's not really too much here to work with. The catalyst we're looking for is that big sell signal. Doesn't even have to be huge. I mean, it just has to be big enough. Because I think if we get that big sell signal, then people are going to hop on top of that, right? We're just going to piggyback, or they're going to piggyback off us because we're already in the position. Back to our clean chart. So yeah, you can see over here again on the clean chart, price is just ranging between the 4-hour resistance level and the 1-minute resistance level down here. Exactly. Maddie said, need sell signal to push and close below sessions. Price is just luring in buyers and sellers. Yeah, I agree, Maddie, 100%. It's just luring in traders on both sides until it pushes. But here's the good thing. So you guys can see how there's a bunch of lows down here. This means there's a lot of liquidity just sitting down here now. I mean, now that I look at the chart, there's actually liquidity on both sides, so it doesn't really make a difference. There's liquidity up here coming down. There's liquidity down here on the lower side too. Ah, man, this market is so slow. So here we go as price retest this upper level. And again, we're just waiting. Yeah, Maddie said the ATR is just too slow. I agree. Super slow right now. Price is pushing up, coming back down. I got stopped out. All right, so there goes my first loss, or our first loss for the breakout V3 in about 12 trades. So it's all good. One loss right there. I'm still in profit for the week, which is great. But yeah, one loss for the BV3 today. It's okay. I was kind of expecting a loss because the win streak was pretty crazy so far. We've had, I think, 11 back-to-back wins, that's a lot of wins for like one strategy back-to-back. So it's all good. I was mainly looking for a buy here anyways to begin with. Like I said earlier, I wanted to trade against the retail sentiment, but the buy never came up. So 8 a loss on there. Let me go over here real quick. There's just a lot of factors here that kind of screwed with our position. I think the low ATR, no catalyst, and slow market movement. So we held on to this position for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. Pretty long for a trade like that. Let's see what else I got here. I'll just have to create a new one here because I haven't put a stop loss in a while. UV3. for a loss. That was a good run, guys. Pretty good run for the BB3. All right, so I'm gonna take a screenshot of my losses here. Not too bad. Because we had wins on Monday and Tuesday, so I'm still in profit. It just shows negative on a couple of my accounts here because it's not counting my other evals that got funded already. But it's still in profit for the week, profit for the year, profit for the month for sure. So here in the Discord. All right, so here are my losses for the is this right? Oh, sorry. This isn't right. I gotta screenshot. I didn't get my personal account on there. There we go. There we go. All right, so here is my, and there's no other entries available right now, guys. So there's nothing for us to take here at the moment. So here is my accounts for the day and the week so far. Currently, I mean, it's a normal loss, nothing crazy. It's a regular loss right there. For the week so far, my personal account, I'm still up 1,000. One of my PA accounts over here, I'm still up 391. My other account here, 500, etc. So I'm still up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, 13, 14, about 14, 15,000 right now for the week. These over here are a lot, are slightly in a loss because these are my new funded accounts, and these don't calculate the wins that we had on Monday. So technically for the week overall, we're still having profit, but this one right here was the first loss in a long time. So other than that, let's see if there's any other entries here. Let's see, Rashida said a V1 for a sell. I wouldn't take the sell here, but yeah, there's a V1 pattern. I wouldn't consider it as an actual V1 entry because for one, it's at a red flag, which is the sessions, and then also it's against the trend. So yeah, if you're looking for just a V1 pattern, like just a regular bare bone V1, this would be a V1 pattern right there, but not one that I personally recommend taking because it is against the it's against the criteria. Yeah, exactly. You know, Rashida said she wants to buy. Yeah, for me personally, I think buys would be the better option because of the sentiment, but there's just not very many buys that came up today. Like even this one right here didn't come up. There's a buy signal, there was no green candle after it, and it just ended up, you know, obviously going sideways from there. So let's see. All right, so there's no entries that are coming up right now. As we wait for the next entry, I'm just going to update the spreadsheet real quick so that we can see what the totals are for the month so far. So let's see. Wednesday, Thursday, Monday. So this one over here on Monday, it was for a sell at 637. $637. Win 25. BB3. Yesterday's was, it was a buy at 740. And this one over here was the entry at, we'll say it was at like 720. 320, 24, 720 for a sell loss. All right. So looking at the stats so far, guys, I mean, March has been a pretty great month for all of us. Amazing month. I mean, it was about time that that today happened. As you guys can see over here, we've had 12 wins, 2 losses, total profit of 250 points, 14 trades in total. Total win-loss ratio is 85.7%. So we've had a pretty great month for March so far. So it was just about time for this here to to actually happen. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm ready to kick off another win streak, which I mean could be pretty good. So we'll see. For the rest of March here, we have about like 10 days left. I mean, you can see the last time we had a loss here, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight wins. So I'll take those odds any day, right? For the BV3 over here from February, we had 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win. So it looks like on a normal basis, it typically will go for like a 2-win streak and maybe a loss for break even, and then another 2-win streak and then a loss for break even. So you can see over here, I had 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss. That gives you a net win still almost every week or every other week. And then again, right here, we had 1 win, 1 loss, and then an 11-win streak. So also today, we'll say market was very slow for Fed interest rate. So what I was trying to look for here is I was trying to see a pattern. You know, is there a pattern for when these losses happen? But there's not really a pattern here at all. Some of these losses happen at 640. Sometimes it's like today's happen at 620. There's just no pattern there. So no change needs to be made. And we just got to keep it as is. All right, we had news over here at 7:30. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll keep looking for entries here, but I don't think there's really much here to look at. We'll just hang tight for a little bit longer. It's 7:33, so this is usually the time where we cut out early anyways. But again, right here, you can see prices just stuck at the sessions, area of manipulation down here, and we'll just continue to see where price goes. But the ATR is too low. So regardless of the fact, I think right now it's just not a good time to be trading. Typically the ATR should be around 15, but we can't skip trades, right? Doesn't matter if the ATR is low, ATR is high. If the market's trending, if the market's going sideways, we got to stick to the game plan, which is take the breakout V3 every single day. The one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize too with Apex is that you guys have to trade every single day, because the payouts happen the first 5 days of the month and then the middle 5 days of the month. So you have to trade 10 days in order to get your payout. Hopefully you guys understand that. So I'm fine with taking trades every day because that's going to give me enough time to be able to get a payout every single month. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's from the first to the 5th and the 15th to the 20th, I believe. I can't remember what it was, but let me see. This is the 19th. Yeah, I was looking at it. So you have to trade 10 days before you get a payout. So it doesn't really matter for us because I'm taking breakout every day. You can request today still. So yeah, it's the 1st to the 5th and the 15th to the 20th. So the first one, the payouts will happen by the 15th, and on the second half, it'll happen by the 30th. Yeah, you have to do it like right now though, Rashida, because once it hits like 2 o'clock Pacific time, it's gonna count as the next day. So if you want to request a payout, you have to do it like right now, right now. For me, I'm probably gonna wait until April 1st to get my payout because I want to do a payout for all of my accounts. So I'm probably gonna yeah, for the most part, I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, Sadie said, I love trading here with you guys every day. Learning from you is amazing. Glad I joined this group. Yeah, definitely. No, same here. I'm always welcome to teaching new people who actually want to learn, right? I just ask them for signals. CJ said, hey, Sean, did your first payout post? Yeah, it posted. It posted like the next day. It usually takes like 1 to 3 days for your payouts or for the pending deposit to post. But I think it's just the first one. So for the first one, it took like about a day or two. And then I think for the following one, since we already have a relationship, it's gonna be a lot quicker. Yeah, because they posted my payout pending on the 15th and then it cleared over the weekend. Maddie said he might request his on the 15th of April. Yeah, I'm thinking about the same thing, Maddie. I'm still kind of debating because I have to, since I'm skipping this cycle for payout, I got to decide whether I want my payout on the 1st or the 5th. I think it's best to do it, yeah, like what Maddie said. So Maddie said he might do it on the 1st or the 5th, or he might just stack it. It's just really a preference. I'll see how the market goes for like the next couple of weeks. Like if we have another win streak and we just keep winning, then I'm just going to do my payout on the 1st. If not, maybe I'll do it like in the middle. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but when you guys pick a day for your payout, you have to like pick it wisely because that's kind of where you're going to be requesting a payout every single month, unless you skip another month in the future, which I mean, some people can do if you want to build a bigger cushion. So my goal and what I plan on doing, guys, is I plan on only leaving 159,000 in my account so that I can have enough cushion to take the max 17 contracts. That's pretty much what my plan is with Apex here. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. Yeah, I'm gonna see how I'll play through because we're on the 20th right now. We still have like about 2 weeks. 2 weeks of continued trading before we have to like decide whether we want to make a payout or not. But I'm for sure gonna request a payout on the first week of um of April. Yeah, Nick said, gotcha. In that case, you may be very well better off waiting for the payout following the first. Yeah, well, the thing with me is I want to get the max payout. So I want to do the full 2,750 per account, but I want to make sure that I have enough cushion. So if I don't have enough cushion, I'm just not going to pull out right away. I want to make sure that I have enough cushion because I don't need the money. Like realistically, the Apex profits are just extra profits for me. I make I have a lot of profits saved up from FTMO and all my other trading from last year. And I also have my personal account, which I've been like stacking up pretty nicely as well. So for me personally, I don't really need the money per se. So when I do get a payout from Apex, I just want that big payout so that I can like see the full payout as one. I mean, not everybody has that luxury, but yeah, I've been trading for a while, so these Apex profits that I'm getting are just extra. That's why I'm not super excited about getting. I am excited to get the payout, but I'm not like, oh fuck, I need to pay my rent, right? Or I need to pay my car note or whatever it may be, because that stuff's already covered. The profits I'm getting from Apex is just extra money for me, basically. And I'll be putting that into my personal account, and I'll just keep growing my personal account as well. So a couple of questions too. I talked to Take Profit Trader. They said that they don't allow copier. I mean, they allow copiers for their own accounts, but you can't add your account. Like their account has to be the main account, which I don't like because I'd rather have my Apex as my main account. They only have a three account maximum anyways. So what I'm gonna do with them is I'm still gonna try to add them to my copier once I have the opportunity, and then I'll see if they get pissed about it, and then I'll let you guys know, and then we'll see if they're reliable or not. Same with Top Step. All right, so there's a V1 variation that came up right here. Rashida identified it too, or Vince actually did. Vince identified the V1 right here and he caught it. So this is a V1 that I would actually be okay with taking because price came down. There's a double body rejection pending buy signal. And Vince took this as a V1 variation. I'm sticking to my game plan, so I'm not really looking to take anything else. I mean, I'm looking at the entries here, but I'm not necessarily taking them myself because the only trade I'm taking is the breakout B3. You guys can see the fake out right here. Price pretty much faked out above, and then now it's coming back down. All right, let's see. We got some team profits over here. So Sean just got funded. Nice work, Sean. He just took a small trade, locked in a total profit of 165. He's now funded 150K. Nice work, Sean. We have Madhu over here. One loss for the day, just like me. It's all good. Bounce back from it tomorrow. Maddie over here lost as well. Nick over here lost as well, but up for the week, just like me. So everyone here should still be up for the week, for the most part. Nikki here lost for the day as well. And this is all a part of the game, right? It's all part of the game. There's losses that are going to happen sometimes. And we have a red day today. This is the first red day we've had in a long time. So it's like, this kind of brings you back down to earth. You know, it's going to humble you a little bit, especially since it doesn't happen very often. So let's see, Sean over here, he just got a payout proof from Take Profit Trader. Nice. So you got a payout of 325. Nice work, Sean. Okay, cool. So they're legit. Yeah, Take Profit Trader is legit. It's just they kind of suck with their copier criteria. Let's see, we have a question over here. Yeah, so this is Nicholas over here. Nick is asking, he's not from the US, what's regular tax? Yeah, Nick. So the tax laws here are different. Nick was asking, what's regular salary tax set? There's no regular salary tax. I mean, it depends on how much money you're making. Yeah. Yeah, so Nicholas is trying to understand how it works in the US. There's different tax brackets here, so it's like way different than Canada. Um, I mean, again, that's like a question that you should probably ask your, whatever tax guy you're asking. I don't know the exact tax. I'm in like the highest tax bracket, so I'm not going to tell you what I'm paying because I'm paying a lot. It's not going to apply to most people. Um, yeah, in my area, because I live like in an expensive area. Like it's just like the taxes add up where I'm at. So like what I'm paying is going to be way different from like what the average American is paying. Because once you make a certain amount of money, you start to pay more in taxes. That's why you have to like find these different business loopholes to kind of pay less. So yeah, it's slightly different. I mean, it's very different actually here in the US when it comes to the person you're asking. Like if you're asking me, it's probably not going to apply to you. But I mean, Google's your best friend. If you want to look it up, like let's see, you can Google here. tax bracket USA 2024. So you can see here it's very different, right? Like I'm making more than this, so I'm paying 30%, but I don't technically pay that because I have a lot of stuff that goes through the business. Normal tax rates like 10,000, it goes up, or it's 10%, it goes up to 37%. And then on top of that, I have to pay employee tax, self-employment tax. There's a lot of different stuff that I have to pay with regard to taxes. So it's not as like I can't just tell you exactly what it is for you to follow. Yeah, so Nick said, I'm trying to understand what's the advantage for you in the US to have an LLC with Apex. I don't even have to type because you're on this right now. The advantage is like night and day, bro. Like it's like I don't know how to make it more the advantages are like 100% like if you're trading as an individual, you can't write anything off, right? You can't write off. I mean, technically you can write stuff off, but you can't write off a lot of things like your home office, my car, my computer, your subscriptions, everything. Like all that stuff's written off. You can do it the same way, like I mean, but you're not gonna get you're not gonna you don't have so I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Well, of course you understand because you're from Canada, but LLC, there's different entities that you can. Here's the thing with the LLC. The LLC doesn't help you with tax. Let's make that clear. Like let's just clear the air with that. Because I feel like a lot of people think just because you have an LLC, it gives you all these opportunities, right? For me, I'm an LLC taxed as an S corp. So it's different because for an LLC, your pass through. So when you're an LLC, it doesn't matter. It goes straight to you anyways. You could do a self sole prop. For me, I'm an LLC taxed as an S corp, so I have more tax benefits on top of that. Mine is a pass through, but then also I get to hire myself as an employee, and that's where the real tax benefits come from. LLC means a limited liability company. This means that you can't be sued. So LLC gives you protection from legal stuff. It doesn't necessarily give you and again, this just goes back to what I was going to say. Like, you should just talk to somebody who's a tax advisor because I have so much information I can give you, but I'm not going to give it to everybody. I'd be on this live session for like hours if I was to like tell you about all the tax benefits and tax loopholes and stuff like that. I mean, and if you're not making a lot of money, it just wouldn't really make sense, right? Like once you start to make a lot of money, then worry about your tax stuff, right? Worry about making money first, because I feel like a lot of people they get too like they get too tied up with oh, I need to start a business and I need to start to get these tax write-offs and they make no money, right? That's kind of like um yeah, so Nick City, I understand, but like you said, you can deduct a lot of stuff when you were self-employed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can still deduct stuff. It's just you get there's different loopholes and there's different tax benefits once you're like the real thing that you want to aim for is S corp status. It's not the LLC, it's the S corp status. But you can't get S corp status unless you have an LLC. So there's like levels to this, right? You're a sole prop LLC, and then when you make more money, then your tax is an S corp. So there's levels to this. I mean, you're basically on the bottom level right now. And once you make enough money, then okay, start worrying about the taxes, right? Because if you're not making money, not to say that you're not making money, but if you're not making money, it's not going to matter, right? If you're not making more than six figures, it's kind of like, what's the point? You can still write off stuff, but you're not going to want to hire yourself as an employee because you're not going to pay yourself 100K. Uh, like I pay myself like six figures, right? I pay myself a six-figure salary, and then that gets written off, and that's in so I get there's benefits to it where it will like recycle. But if you're not making that much, then it's kind of pointless because yeah, it's just pointless because you're going to be paying taxes and you don't even need to pay taxes because you're not going to owe taxes at the end of the year. So it's usually it works when you're making a lot of money because you basically want to deduct as much as you can. But if you're not making enough money to deduct, there's a kind of no point to it. But yeah, Yeah, exactly. Like what James said here too. So James said if you're not making money with the business and you file a lot of expense write-offs, you're gonna get audited. Exactly, 100%. 100%, James. I agree with you 100% on that. So that's why I'm saying, like, you guys don't worry about getting your tax write-offs right now. Worry about making some money. Once you make enough money, and it's March, so you got a whole year ahead of you guys. Like, chill out for a little bit. Focus on making money from March up until June, September, August, whatever. And then, maybe in some point in the future. But you're also in Canada, so this stuff doesn't even apply to you, Nicholas. So I think you're kind of worrying about stuff that doesn't really affect you, right? You should talk to somebody in Canada that can help you kind of structure it the same way in Canada. Because it wouldn't matter. I mean, a lot of this stuff is kind of relevant to you, unless like you live in the US. Oh, yeah. Well, if you're curious, there's this thing called YouTube. Look up YouTube. So go to YouTube and go to Google, and you can do as much research as you want there. But that's where I get all my info too. Like, there's a lot of good resources out there, and that's kind of where you can find it. But I mean, yeah, I know. It can be somewhat interesting if you want to, if you're curious about that stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of good resources out there. So the main guy that I learned from, his name is Mark J. Kohler. You can look him up. He has like a whole library. I have his whole library. I've actually used him for my taxes as well. He's very expensive, but he knows his stuff. So if you want to look him up, and he has podcasts like every single day. So if you go to Mark J. Kohler, this is a guy that I pretty much learned literally all my tax stuff from. He has a YouTube channel, and this guy covers like literally everything. He's like one of the legit guys. There's a lot of fake tax guys out there that try to sell you BS, but this guy, he's really good. The reason why he's good too is because he's also an attorney. So he's someone that you can believe. He's not going to sell you some BS info. He's an attorney and he also does tax law. So yeah, exactly. Tom said he lives in Canada. It's different, but yeah, check on YouTube and ask an accountant. He'll gladly give you suggestions on how to manage it and have you as a client. Yeah, exactly. You can do your own research, but then you should always go through an actual CPA or tax accountant that can like confirm stuff. Because there's a lot of fake YouTubers out there who talk about tax stuff and they don't even know what they're talking about. And I've seen it. It's pretty bad. Um, yeah, Lucas said he knows a child law attorney in Toronto, right? All right, guys. I think that's it for today. There's not really too much here to look at. We've been looking for some entries here. Let's see. Hawk asked if there was another BB3 that came up. Yeah, so there was a breakout B3 continuation that happened right here. There was a buy signal and a green candle that followed it. And this would have been the entry right here if you decided to take it. I mean, personally, for me, I wouldn't have taken it because it's right at the sessions. That would be a red flag for me personally. But if you wanted to take it, I mean, it still played through. The only problem here is the same problem from earlier. The ATR is so low. So this thing's taking forever to hit, right? This is a 10-point move. This thing took like 3 minutes to hit. It usually hits right away on like the first candle. But because the volatility is so low, there's not really much going on here. Let's see, question from Kenny. Kenny's asking, can you have the profits deposited directly to your LLC bank account, or will Apex not allow that? I have no idea. So if they didn't transfer my account to an LLC, then I would have done that, Kenny. But thankfully they transferred it over. So like all my info is for the LLC. But yeah, if I didn't get my information changed, that's what I would have done. So I can't say if they'll do it or not because I know they're kind of strict about like what bank account they direct deposit to. But as long as your name's on it, I think it should be fine. Or you can just send it to your personal bank account and then transfer it from your personal to your LLC bank account. That's what I would have done too. There's different ways to get around to it. And it wouldn't really matter because they're going to 1099 you anyways. So the money would it doesn't matter where it gets deposited to, right? You can deposit to yourself and then they're going to 1099 you and you just transfer it over to your business. So yeah, I mean, you could try, you can ask them. Otherwise, I would just send it to your personal account and then do a manual transfer. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you can't really like negotiate with Apex. Like, trust me, they're not going to negotiate with you. They're going to be like, oh, well, you didn't sign up as a business, so you're not a business. Even though there's no directions to sign up as a business, I'm glad that I kind of complained early on. Thanks to Madhu there for giving me the heads up. But yeah. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. We kind of just sat on here for a while. There's nothing else for us to take here. Unfortunately, the breakout V3 lost today, but we went on a good 11 win streak. So hopefully, coming back tomorrow, we'll bounce back from it. Tomorrow, looking at the calendar, let me see if there's any news for tomorrow. So we do have pre-market news here at 5:30, and then we have a couple of news events over here at 6:40. We have a lot of news events on Thursday. So we'll see. Hopefully, like the volatility stays pretty decent and high, and we'll be able to catch an entry for the breakout V3 tomorrow to bounce back from today's loss. And we can close out the week strong on Friday. No news. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think that is about it with what we have here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for today's live session. We'll come back tomorrow fresh and bounce back from today's loss.